Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Signal here, welcome back to our video. So in this one we're going to talk about Beast Boy because we got the official release of the abilities at 7 stars and level 80. So let's take a look at this because this is pretty damn interesting. So first of all, get Sharp Talons. Beast Boy's successful specials apply a wounds debuff. Wounded characters take additional damage from basics and swipe attacks from Beast Boy's teams or affected what? Or the affected opponent? I don't get the last part, but I really like the fact about Beast Boy's team, which means every single character in the game can, in theory, benefit from this. So you're gonna have wound up for 8 seconds, which is not gonna be a lot at lower star ratings. Like 8 seconds should be the bare minimum you would need, because that's kind of the time in between tag-ins. You're at least gonna get a full tag-in of dot damage on the enemy, and the value is gonna be 200% of Beast Boy attack stat is gonna be applied as damage on basic hits or swipes by your team on the affected opponents. So out of Beast Boy attack stats, this is something we didn't really have a term of comparison previously, but now we have Scorpion, who has the third special, which makes the same thing happen basically, but for this you have the requirement of the enemy being on the hazard and a lot of other stuff. The Beast Boy one is going to be a lot more convenient to apply, but it's going to last a lot less than the Scorpion one, so keep that in mind. But the damage should be a lot higher because it goes all the way up to 200% at 7 stars. Though at lower star ratings, I'm not sure it will be bigger, but yeah, this is huge. Because this in theory can buff any character in the game. So you can play around with characters that have other modifiers. For example, I can't wait to try Beast Boy plus Manta and try to deal some dot damage with Manta. Yeah, I really like this. I really like the fact that this applies to any character in your team. Even if, though I think it will be a bit strong, but even if this is not as strong, it's at least gonna be fun trying all the teams that are gonna be built around this. Again, the fact that it applies to any character, it's absolutely amazing. I love this. Okay, so successful specials against wounded opponents becomes stronger. Okay, so this is a bit weird because if you use a special when the opponent is already wounded, you're gonna get that. So you're gonna need to pretty much do 2 specials in quick succession. So maybe use a cheap special, like a special one, and we're gonna get into that to apply a wound. And before that wound expires, use your chosen special that you want to do, because this is gonna be very power costly if you want to play it this way. Let's move on to the next passive because this is worth mentioning, and we're gonna go back to this because he most likely will promote the gameplay if you're using him as the damage dealer, where he's gonna be spamming specials. And he's gonna get a 50% chance to recover power and 50% chance to not reset combo on a special. It doesn't have any requirement like Collector. Does Collector have requirements? Like, I don't remember. Doesn't have a requirement like Crown, for example. You don't need to be at a certain combo. It's gonna be just simply a chance for that to happen. So if you're using a special after you've already used the special, they're gonna get added effects. And we're gonna get into the specials as we talk about this, because for me to talk about the empowered version of the special, you kind of need to know the base version of the special. So the special on Beast Boy transforms into monkey form, blinding the opponent and reducing his defense. It says blind for 5 seconds. This is, I mean, the duration is not good, only 5 seconds. But this is very good because it says blind, not chance to miss, because there's 2 blinds in the game. There's the absolute blind that makes the enemy miss everything, which is the puppet blind, for example, and there's the percentage chance blind, like the blind applied by the Batman Ninja Catwoman and the blind applied by the League of Anarchy Joker on the special 2. So the fact that it's a blind that's gonna be guaranteed to miss, it's very good. The duration is not great. And yeah, monkey form, if you're doing this empowered, you're gonna normally get 10 defense reduction up to 4 stacks. And if it's empowered, you can get up to 8 stacks, and it says it exceeds the cap. I don't understand what they say when they say it exceeds the cap, because we never had defense reduction that exceeds the cap until now. So all the way up to 8 stacks, gives 10%. Let's assume we have this at level 10 and it gives 10%. Let's say the enemy has 50 defense, and we can apply 8 stacks of 10%. We reduce that 50 defense, and then we go all the way to minus 30% defense or something like that, and he takes additional damage because of it, because that would be amazing, but it's a bit confusing in terms of how this works. Second special. It's gonna transform into bear form, stunning the opponent, and it's gonna stun them for 4 seconds, and it's gonna have a chance to affect raid bosses. Bear form against wounded opponents. Increase the stun duration by 50%, which is gonna mean 2 additional seconds, 6 seconds in total, and there's a 50% chance to affect raid bosses instead of a 25% chance. Yeah, I don't see this ability used that often. I think unless you're playing him with League of Anarchy as a support character for them, which you definitely can do. Maybe I'll do it myself a few times. But unless you're doing that, I don't see you ever using these special too. Now, Tiger Form. Beast Boy transforms into Tiger Form, dealing extra damage as Dot. So it's gonna deal 100% of the attack stat as Dot for 5 seconds. Now, if this is empowered, the Dot from special is gonna go up to 800%. So instead of 100, this is gonna deal 800% of attack stat as Dot for 5 seconds. It doesn't say over 5 seconds, so it's a bit weird. Is it gonna happen every single second, like the Batum and the Drowned Hazard happens? Because if that's the case, then it's gonna be quite strong, because Batum and the Drowned Hazard has a lot lower values as far as I remember. It's gonna be 700% for Batum and Drowned. It's not a lot lower values, but it's lower because this is gonna go all the way up to 800%. Again, you're most likely not gonna have him at 7 stars. But this is gonna be pretty good if it works the way I'm thinking it's gonna work. It's gonna be Dot, it's not gonna be Hazard Dot, so that's kind of the caveat when it comes to this. So it might scale a bit differently. It doesn't say it's on basics, so it might be just a dot that it's applied whenever it transforms, like the Beta Club dot, for example, when you do a swipe, for this to trigger it, instead you do a third special. Okay, and the super move of Beast Boy is gonna have an interesting last part, which I don't think it's gonna be particularly useful in a lot of situations, but it's gonna be like 30 seconds of not losing combo when performing specials for your team. Well, you're gonna spend 10 power bars on the super move. By the time you get to use the special that you want on a decent amount of combo, it's gonna be only 15 seconds left or something like that. Yeah, I don't know about this. But overall, he looks very solid. And yet again, if he runs the risk of not being a good damage dealer himself, he's most likely gonna be a decent support character at the very least. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'm really looking forward to the gameplay to see how the transformations are actually implemented. All that being said, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!